Have you ever sat on the edge of your bed in the morning, hesitated for a second and thought, will I be able to stand up without wobbling today? It's a quiet fear, one we don't always say out loud. But it's there. The body feels different now, a little slower, a little stiffer, a little less steady. I remember Evelyn, 76, from just outside Tucson, Arizona. She doesn't like the gym, never did. But she started placing a towel on the floor every morning, sitting just a little lower than usual, and then standing up slowly. She got the idea from watching Japanese elders sit and rise from tatami mats in a video. She calls it her morning miso ritual. No squats, no timers, just one small habit. And she told me it makes me feel less afraid. People often assume Japanese elders age better because of genetics, but science says otherwise. Up to 80% of how we age, how strong our legs stay, is shaped by our daily habits, not our DNA. That's good news, because it means you can influence this. You don't need perfect genes. You don't need a gym. You just need small, consistent choices that support your independence. Because independence isn't a luxury, it's dignity. It's being able to warm your own soup, get up safely to answer the door, step into the shower without help. And when we lose that, when we start fearing the floor, we start moving less. And that's how strength fades quietly. In this video, I want to share 3 traditional Japanese foods and 1 simple floor habit, just 10 minutes a day, that helps elders in Japan walk well into their 82nd and 92nd. No fitness apps, no wearables, just real life and the way they move through it. And I want to be clear, it's not about doing it perfectly. Many Japanese elders lean on walls. They use cushions. They adjust. But they stay in motion. They don't freeze. And that's what matters. At the very end, I'll share 1 small move you can try tonight, right on your bed, that might help you rise more steadily tomorrow. So before we begin, let me ask, where are you watching from today? And if you had to rate your knees right now, their steadiness, what would you give them on a scale from 1 to 10? Let's begin with 1 habit. Less than 2 minutes. You can do this too. Jeden Floor Life, How Low Habits Build Strong Legs. Have you noticed how it's harder to get up from the couch than it used to be? Like your legs hesitate for just a second too long? You're not alone. But in many Japanese homes, people in their 72nd, 82nd, even 92nd still sit on the floor and, just as importantly, still get back up. They do it not as a workout, but as part of daily life. It's not dramatic. It's not even always graceful, but it keeps their legs strong. So what does this look like in practice? You don't need to kneel fully or sit cross-legged if that's painful. Start with something simple. Once a day, place a folded towel or cushion on the floor, about 12–16 inches high. Sit down slowly, using your hands if needed, and then gently stand back up. Do that just once, maybe twice. That's it, 2 minutes. If the floor feels too far away, try starting from the edge of a low couch or bed. The key isn't how deep you sit, it's how regularly you ask your legs to support you. I remember Arlene, 72, from Columbus, Ohio. After watching a video on Japanese elders, she told me, I can't sit on the floor like they do, but I can perch on a pillow by the window, sip tea, then stand up slowly. 3 weeks in, she noticed her knees didn't creak as much in the morning, and more importantly, she felt more confident in her balance. And here's the quiet fear behind all this. Many older adults stop sitting low because they're afraid they won't get back up. That fear leads to avoiding movement. And the less we move, the faster our muscles weaken, especially in the legs. It's a cycle I've seen too often, but it can be reversed, 1 small motion at a time. As a geriatric doctor, now in my 72nd, I can tell you, I don't use floor sitting as a test of willpower. I use it as a reminder, a signal to my body that we still do this. Slowly, safely, with a hand nearby if needed. It's not about perfection, it's about permission to keep using the strength we still have. There's a study from Gerontology International in 2020 that found older adults who regularly sit on the floor retain significantly more lower body strength and flexibility than those who rely only on chairs. It's not magic, it's simply muscles being asked to show up gently, day after day. So maybe just try it once today. Find a cushion, sit, pause, rise. That's one full cycle. Let me know how it felt. Did your knees whisper anything to you today? Now let's look at what's in the Japanese soup bowl, because what they eat also helps them move gently, steadily, without fear. Soup that strengthens miso and movement. What if your knees could feel steadier, not from medicine or machines, but from something warm you drink with a spoon? In Japan, elders often start their day with a small bowl of miso soup. It's not a health trend. It's not labeled anti-inflammatory or joint supporting. It's just what they do. One scoop of miso paste stirred into hot water, sometimes with tofu, seaweed, or scallions. It takes less than 3 minutes. And for many, it sets the tone for movement, especially gentle movement, after 70. Let me tell you about Sandra from Akron, Ohio. She's 72 and wrote to me last winter after watching our piece on Japanese mornings. She tried one small change, a cup of miso soup before her morning stretch. I didn't change anything else, she said, but after a week it felt like my legs were saying thank you, just a little less stiffness, a little more ease. It's subtle, but powerful, because underneath so many joint complaints is something we don't talk about often, the fear of weakening, quietly, without noticing. Many women I speak with aren't afraid of pain, they're afraid of losing their pace, their steadiness, their ability to get up alone. When I was still practicing, we saw this pattern often. Inflammation builds from the gut outward. And miso, along with other fermented foods, nourishes that root system. It doesn't just ease digestion, it calms the whole network. It's not about perfection or going vegan or giving up your comfort foods. It's about gently adding something restorative to your day. In fact, a study in Gerontology International 2020 found that seniors who consumed fermented soy regularly had better muscle preservation and less reported joint pain. This isn't a magic potion, it's slow nutrition. And slow counts, especially after 70. If you're curious, here's something to try. Tomorrow morning, warm a small mug of water and stir in 1 teaspoon of low-sodium miso paste. Sit near a window if you can. Sip slowly. See if your body responds. No pressure, just curiosity. And if you like, tell me, how do your legs feel after that first warm cup? Next, let's explore how Japanese elders build leg strength without ever stepping into a gym. 3, movement without exercise. Do your legs ever feel tight just from sitting too long, even if you haven't done anything wrong? In Japan, many elders stay strong not through workouts or gym routines, but by simply staying in motion, folding laundry on the floor, wiping a low table, standing slowly from tatami mats. These aren't exercises, they're habits, but they build leg strength quietly over time. Let me tell you about Elaine, 68, in Tempe, Arizona. After watching a short video about Japanese home routines, she rearranged her living room. She placed a firm cushion on the floor and began folding clothes there twice a week. No timers, no reps. But after a month, she told me her knees felt less cranky and that standing up wasn't such a chore. The fear, of course, isn't sore muscles. It's losing function. It's that moment when you avoid reaching down for something because you're not sure you'll get back up. I've seen it 100 times, and I've lived long enough to know this. When the body stops being used, it forgets. But gentle, daily movement reminds it what it can still do. As a geriatrician, I often said, if you don't move it, you lose it. But if you move it gently, you keep it longer. You don't need squats, you need repetition. Floor movement offers this, without the intimidation of workouts. A study published in Geriatrics and Gerontology International showed that older adults who engage in light, daily tasks that involve bending, reaching, and floor transitions have better lower body strength and balance than peers who sit for long periods. Would you be willing to try one floor-based task this week? Maybe drying your feet while seated on a cushion, or reaching for a book from the floor and rising slowly. See what feels safe and start small. You can do this too. In the next part, we'll talk about something most people overlook: how your legs recover while you sleep. 4. Sleep for leg recovery. When was the last time you woke up and thought, my legs feel better today? In our culture, we treat sleep like an on-off switch. But in Japan, rest is a gentle tool, especially for muscle recovery. And the way they prepare for sleep helps their legs, joints, and balance long before morning arrives. Let me share Ruth's story. She's 73, from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. After struggling with knee pain at night, she tried a simple habit we discussed: soaking her feet in warm water with a handful of Epsom salt and a few drops of lavender oil before bed. She did this for 10 minutes while seated, gently massaging each foot. Within a week, she noticed less cramping and felt steadier walking to the bathroom at night. The deeper fear for many women I've worked with isn't falling while awake. It's waking up stiff, or worse, waking up afraid to move. That quiet fear builds over time, but there's comfort in knowing recovery can begin before your eyes even close. What I've learned in 40+ years of caring for older adults is that healing happens best when the body is calm, and legs, especially aging legs, respond to rituals of care. Japanese elders often sleep on low futons, which naturally engage the hips and legs when rising. Their rooms are quiet, cool, dim. Their routines are unhurried. According to the Journal of Sleep Research, 2021, consistent sleep hygiene, especially when paired with warm foot bathing, improves circulation and muscular recovery in seniors. It's not about a perfect night's sleep. It's about preparing the body to feel safe, supported, and soft before rest. Would you be open to adding one calming habit tonight? A warm foot soak, a minute of slow breathing, even brushing your legs with lotion gently. Ask yourself, what does your body need to feel safe before bed? You can do this too. Next, we'll explore something just as important as strength: purpose. How elders in Japan stay strong because they expect to contribute. 5. The purpose that strengthens legs. Do you still have a reason to get up each morning? Something or someone that needs your hands, your presence, your steps? In Japan, many elders do, not because they have to, but because they expect themselves to contribute. They are still sharpening knives, brewing tea, walking to the market, tending a neighbor's plant. Their bodies stay strong because their lives stay needed. I remember Margie, 74, from Spokane. Her knees weren't what they used to be. She'd stopped volunteering at the library. She said, "What's the point of walking if I'm not going anywhere?" We made a simple plan. She began bringing soup once a week to her older neighbor who was homebound. 1 block, slow steps, warm thermos. In a month, her gait was steadier, her eyes a little brighter. She had a reason to use her legs again. The quiet fear for many of us isn't just pain. It's becoming invisible, no longer useful. But here's what I've seen over and over. When we believe we still matter, our bodies respond. Purpose is a muscle too. It pulls us out of chairs. It carries weight. As a doctor, I've watched patients recover faster, not because of medicine, but because of meaning. In Japan, 8 5-year-olds still prepare meals for the family. They have a word, ikigai, loosely, a reason to live, even if small, even if slow. The Harvard study of adult development has shown that people who feel needed live longer and maintain mobility better, especially when they give in simple, repeated ways. Not grand gestures, just being part of something. Is there one small thing you could still offer someone this week? A cup of tea, a phone call, a favor, not for praise, just for purpose. You can do this too. And now let's close with a single step. If standing from a chair feels harder than it used to, what's one thing you could do today to make tomorrow easier? Here's a small idea I often suggest. Tonight, after brushing your teeth, place a firm pillow on the floor near your bed. Sit on it for 30 seconds. Breathe. Stand slowly, holding on to the edge if needed. That's it. That's the beginning. One of my clients, Darlene, 76, used to dread walking down her driveway. She felt shaky and unsure. But she tried this simple routine each night: sit, breathe, rise. After 3 weeks, she told me, "It's not magic, but I'm less afraid now. And sometimes that's the start of everything." I know the fear of falling, of failing, of being alone in it. But small steps matter more than perfect plans. A soft breath, a cup of broth, a short walk. You don't need to be young. You just need to begin. According to the Lancet Healthy Longevity Journal, even minor daily practices that engage the legs can reduce fall risk by 30% in adults over 70. The science is clear, but so is the human truth. It's never too late to re-enter your life. So let me ask, what's your one step today? And if you feel like sharing, I'd love to hear. How do you keep moving these days? You can do this too.